the ability to give a girl a home and an education, the kind that we give our own children here, because I believe that these girls, who are mostly are orphans, their parents, their mothers would have wanted that for them. So I'm just trying to fulfill what they would want.
For 3 decades, thousands of stories were given life in our print room before being sent to your home. Each week, an individual walks into this room to give life to an incredible, one-of-a-kind story. These aren't your local politicians or well-known celebrities. They are everyday people, much like yourself, eager to share a piece of their lives with you.
I am in class 5. I am 11 years old. I am 11 years old.
I always knew I wanted to do something, but I didn't know what it was. And so I decided one night to just Google Volunteer Africa. And I did, and I found an organization called Global Volunteer Network, and walked into my husband's office and said, just to let you know, I would like to volunteer one day. And he said, okay. And within a year, my sister-in-law and I were on our way to Kenya. I had no idea what I was in for. I mean, I knew that there were 25 children there, 25 girls, and I was scared out of my mind because I didn't know what I was supposed to do with girls. But once I got into St. Monica's, what struck me the most was how the girls just kind of wanted to be close to you.
Look in the camera right here and say what school you go to.
Mahiga.
You go to Mahiga school?
Yes.
Yes? Are you happy that I'm here?
That kind of took me by surprise because I had no idea what I was in for. And pretty much for the next 2 to 3 weeks, I was either holding a child's hand or they were under my arms. A lot of them, I mean, even to this day, said that they didn't know their mother. No one had hugged them or, treated them like a mother would or should. I think the difference is that for me was I really just wanted to pay attention to them at that time, because no one has really, paid attention to them and really looked at them as a person. I mean, there's a huge stigma. Yes, this is an orphanage. Yes, we help run an orphanage, but we call it a home. It's home to them. I mean, when you walk into a school, you see the sweaters that are ripped, or the socks that can't stand up all the way, or the shoes with the holes in it. You can see the kids who have and those who have not. You know the kids whose parents don't come to visit them on family day. That's, I think, the toughest one. You pretty much know who's an orphan and who's not, based on those little things. As an organization with St. Monica's, is that on those Parents' Day, some of the staff members go and they visit the girls there. The first night there, we gathered around and the girls were dancing and we were dancing, and there's this one little girl and her name is Winnie. I don't know what it is, but there's just something special. I'm completely drawn to this little girl and I didn't know why. Within 4 days of being there, her legs were wrapped around, my waist, and I'm holding on to her and her head is, tucked under. And we were pretty much like that for the next 2 weeks. The last day was probably one of the worst days I've had up to date. There was lots of crying. not wanting to leave, having to pull kids, off of us. It was bad. And so when you say, I'll be back, these girls don't believe you, because many volunteers come and say, I'll be back, and nobody ever shows up, because, really, who's going to go back to Kenya? It was big enough for us. I knew that I was coming back, but it took probably 6 to 7 trips, and that was about 3 years in, for them to go, okay, all right, see ya. We'll see you next year. We'll see you at the end of the year. For them to really understand, when I say I'm coming back, I'm coming back. It was hard. I guess I was really lucky to have my sister-in-law with me there, but it's always emotional. I cried just as hard this last trip in December as I did when I left there, because it's even harder. There's more children to love. I get letters, and it's not just, thank you for coming and visiting. This is, what you've done, for us, and the fact that I've graduated high school, or the fact that I've done this and that. It's a big thing. Mothers Fighting for Others, the point is to fight for them to have basic human rights. And the basic human rights is shelter, clothes, food, and the ability to be educated. It's that simple. It's that simple. We just, we're just on a smaller scale of, 51 children. This is where they do their laundry. They're going to have to hand wash their laundry every day. That's just something that's normal here. If you're making $1 a day and you have, let's just say, 3 kids, and you have a boy and 2 girls, you're going to choose that boy to go, because he's going to be the working force behind the family. Girls stay home. They tend to smaller children. They tend to the home. It's just how it is. It's how it's always been. And so, that's how it was here. It's just not as evolved. It's tough. It's really tough. Girls are victimized all over the world. So are boys, but girls seem to be more victimized. They're killed for going to school in some parts of the world. I think everybody wants to help somehow. It might not necessarily be, what I'm doing, but I think everybody in their heart has a desire to make the world a better place. And so I always just try to tell people to figure out what that is, and to do it. That's what got me going. I kind of tell the story of, I've got 6 kids. What happens if I died? What would someone do? Who's going to step up? Who's going to do it? And that sort of is my driving force. If something happened to me, I would hope someone would step in. And that's what I do every day. I just step in.
Thanks goes to Rocky, who is the founder of MFFO.
When I grow up, I would like to be an engineer.
When I grow up, I would like to be a pilot.
When I grow up, I would like to be a doctor. I like to be a doctor. When I grow up, I want to be an accountant and a lawyer.
I went to the city to see a Samaritan, putting on his face so shaky, 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 shaky.